Welcome to our deep dive into the fascinating worlds of the Arctic and Antarctica. These icy realms, seemingly similar in their stark beauty, hold a wealth of differences to uncover. Today we'll explore key differences between these polar regions, from their geography to the life inhabiting them. Join me as we journey to the ends of the Earth and discover what sets the Arctic and Antarctica apart. The Arctic is located at the northernmost part of the Earth, a region where the sun barely sets in summer and barely rises during the long winter months. Antarctica lies at the southernmost part of the Earth, a continent isolated by vast oceans and perpetual ice. The Arctic is not a continent but an ocean, the Arctic Ocean, surrounded by North America, Europe and Asia. Antarctica, on the other hand, is a continent in its own right, a massive icy landmass surrounded by the vast southern ocean. The Arctic has been home to indigenous peoples for millennia, their cultures intrinsically linked to the ice, the sea, and the land itself. Antarctica, however, has no permanent residents, only scientists and researchers who brave the harsh, extreme conditions for a glimpse into its secrets. The Arctic is the realm of the polar bear, a powerful predator perfectly adapted to navigate the ice flows and hunt for seals. Penguins in their tuxedoed elegance are the iconic inhabitants of Antarctica, their lives intimately tied to the icy Southern Ocean. The Arctic, influenced by currents, experiences milder temperatures compared to Antarctica's extreme cold. Antarctica holds the record for the coldest temperature on Earth, a testament to its unforgiving climate. Despite the challenging conditions, the Arctic is home to a surprising variety of plant life, from hardy shrubs to colorful wildflowers and resilient mosses. Antarctica's vegetation is extremely limited, with only a few mosses and lichens surviving. The Arctic is governed by 8 countries, their interests intertwined in this strategic area. Antarctica, uniquely, is governed by an international treaty dedicated to scientific research, environmental preservation, and maintaining its pristine, untouched beauty. The Arctic holds significant oil and gas reserves, offering opportunity and potential environmental concern. Antarctica has strict regulations ensuring its environment remains untouched. The Arctic is home to a diverse range of wildlife, from land mammals like caribou and Arctic foxes to marine creatures such as seals and whales. Antarctica's wildlife is marine-based, with seals, whales and seabirds relying on the Southern Ocean. The Arctic Ocean is a fascinating mix of ice and open water, its extent constantly fluctuating with the changing seasons. Antarctica is covered by a massive ice sheet, holding about 90% of the world's ice and around 70% of its freshwater resources. The Arctic experiences seasonal sea ice, expanding in winter and shrinking in summer, a natural cycle increasingly affected by climate change. Antarctica's ice is mostly permanent, with some of it dating back thousands of years, a frozen record of Earth's history. The Arctic is on the front lines of climate change, warming at twice the rate of the rest of the planet. Antarctica, while relatively untouched by human activities, is experiencing the effects of climate change, with melting glaciers and warming waters. The Arctic has a long and fascinating history of exploration and settlement, from Viking voyages to the search for the elusive Northwest Passage. Antarctica was first sighted in the 19th century, its existence long shrouded in mystery. The Arctic encompasses a variety of ecosystems, from the tundra to the ice floes, each with its own unique flora and fauna, all adapted to extreme conditions. Antarctica's ecosystem, while seemingly uniform, is surprisingly diverse, with life uniquely adapting to the extreme cold and limited resources. The Arctic's tundra regions come alive in the summer, with wildflowers blooming and migratory birds arriving to breed and thrive. Antarctica's interior is a vast, icy desert, with extreme cold and limited precipitation making life here a constant challenge. The Arctic is home to a fascinating mix of land and sea animals, with polar bears, caribou, seals and whales all playing vital roles in this unique ecosystem. Antarctica's animals are mostly sea-based, with krill forming the base of the food web, supporting penguins to whales. The Arctic's ice sheet and glaciers hold vital fresh water, essential for humans and wildlife. Antarctica holds 70% of the world's fresh water locked in its massive ice sheet, a potential resource for a thirsty world. The Arctic experiences a temperate climate in some areas during summer, allowing for plant growth and habitation. Antarctica, in contrast, is consistently frigid, with even the summer months bringing little to no respite from the relentless cold. A symphony of birdsong, the Arctic comes alive with birdsong during summer as migratory species arrive to breed and raise their young. You can hear the melodies of the Arctic tern, snow goose, snowy owl and ptarmigan, creating a beautiful natural symphony. Seabirds rule the skies. Antarctica has fewer bird species, but those that do inhabit this icy continent are mostly seabirds, reliant on the ocean for food. The majestic albatross, the resilient petrel, the fierce skua, and of course the iconic penguin all dominate the Antarctic skies and shores. Cultures of the Arctic. The Arctic has a rich history of indigenous cultures, their traditions and way of life intertwined with the land and sea for centuries. The Inuit and Sami peoples, among others, have passed down indigenous knowledge and traditional practices through generations, maintaining a deep connection to their environment. Antarctica has no indigenous cultures, its harsh environment making it unsuitable for permanent habitation until research stations. The Arctic is becoming more accessible by sea routes as ice melts, opening new possibilities for shipping and resource extraction. Antarctica remains a remote destination, accessible mainly by air and sea, with strict regulations to protect its fragile environment. The Arctic experiences daylight and darkness yearly, with the midnight sun in summer and polar night in winter. Antarctica experiences even more extreme periods of daylight and darkness, with 6 months of continuous daylight in summer and 6 months of continuous darkness in winter. The Arctic Ocean supports various fish species, some commercially important, providing food and livelihoods for the region. Antarctica's fish species are uniquely adapted to the cold waters, with antifreeze proteins in their blood preventing them from freezing. The Arctic Ocean is dynamic, with icebergs, sea ice and open water constantly changing with winds and currents. Antarctica is known for its massive ice shelves, extensions of the ice sheet that float on the ocean, some of which are breaking up rapidly due to climate change. The Gulf Stream, a warm ocean current, moderates Arctic temperatures by bringing warmer water. Antarctica is encircled by the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, the strongest ocean current, isolating the continent and influencing its climate. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the Arctic and Antarctica. We've explored dramatic landscapes and encountered resilient wildlife, uncovering unique characteristics that set these polar regions apart. From the icy plains of Antarctica to the tundra ecosystems of the Arctic, these regions remind us of the incredible diversity and fragility of our planet. We hope you enjoyed learning about these polar regions. They are a testament to the power of nature and the importance of understanding and protecting our planet. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating